first pitch is a fastball for ball one. .33 degrees at game time with a wind chill in the mid-20s. 2 balls and no strikes on Nixon. Wow, look at that. 2 for 28 lifetime against Dennis. Much of that in the National League. And that finds the outside corner for a strike, says Rick Reed. I got to be honest with you, Mike, when I saw Otis Nixon when he first played with the Indians in the mid-'80s, I thought there would be no way that he'd still be playing baseball here in the mid-'90s.
Well, he has really worked to make himself valuable on a ball club. He's taken advantage of his speed. He bunts very well. Tried to bunt right there.
You could just flat out knock the bat out of his hands. All he could do was bunt back then, and he has made himself into a solid player who has played a lot of years in the big leagues. Full count now on Nixon.
Well, you know, the Indians are playing him very shallow in left and center field, and Manny Ramirez about straight away and right. There are gaps in right center and down the right field line.
Payoff pitch is up the middle for a base hit. Otis Nixon starts off the ball game with a single for the Jays.
Second baseman, number 14.
And that was a hole created by the fact that Omar Vizquel was playing way over in the hole near third. That ball went right through about a straightaway shortstop position. But see where Omar is, he really had to come back for that. No way he could get to it. They really had a drastic shift on there for Otis Nixon, way around to the left, both on the infield and the outfield.
Nixon with a couple of steals in the series, so Dennis will work to keep him close as he deals with Tilson Brito, who bunts it back to the screen. Brito 1 for 8 in the series, has 1 hit, a double. The youngster out of the Dominican Republic has started all 3 games at second base in this series. As we mentioned yesterday, Domingo Cedeno and Felipe Crespo will also play there. Crespo has been bothered with the muscle pull in his leg, so the cold weather probably has prevented Cito Gaston from using Crespo. Breaking ball for strike 2. The Martinez backdoor pitch there, or the comeback pitch is probably the better way to describe it.
Likes to use the outside corner of the plate and just off the outside, show the inside corner and try to go after him away.
Drives Nixon back. Dennis will give up base runners. We talk about that. Of course, last year in that shutout against the Blue Jays, he gave up 9 hits in that game. Did not have a 1-2-3 inning on the afternoon, but blanked Toronto. Crespo, Thome to his left. They get the lead man. Good play by Jim Thome as Brito's ground ball looked like it might get through the hole.
Yeah, Jimmy did a nice job circling back on that ball a little bit. He was playing a couple of steps behind the bag instead of going straight across. Took a better angle at the ball. There you see him right there, and the ball not hit that hard either. So really no opportunity for Carlos Baerga to turn the double play, but a good play by Thome to get the lead runner.
Nixon retired, and now Brito becomes the base runner for Joe Carter. Joe, who had a called strike against him in his final at bat, gets one to start this one, and Joe I talked to him briefly this morning. He was still not happy about the strike 3 call. One and one.
Joe Carter, as you see, has had his problems against Dennis Martinez. Dennis will give a big free swinger like Joe Carter some problems.
Pretty well hit to left center field. Long run for Lofton against the wind. Makes the catch. Brito was around second base, and they will double him up at first. What a play by Kenny Lofton. No score here in the first.
Just arrived. More new business in Northeast Ohio. You may not know that Ohio has had the fastest new job growth in America for 2 years running. When companies move here or expand, they bring or build most of what they need. But there's one thing we have to provide. SmartWatt. Reliable, efficient electricity, yes, and more. A full-service energy partner with bright ideas. That's the power that puts more of us to work. The SmartWatt.
Imagine a simpler way to lease. Mercury's one-price, turn-the-key, worry-free lease. Simpler because now you can drive the award-winning Mercury Sable for an affordable $279 a month. Or a new Mercury Villager minivan also at a value-packed payment of $279 a month. A small price to pay for 24 months of turn-the-key, worry-free driving. Sable or Villager at $279.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury now.
Joyce was 19 when I met her at a party in Cleveland.
We got married a year later and had John Jr. and Carla.
With 2 kids, Blue Cross got us through our share of emergencies, like the time when Carla pulled a hot pea soup down on her arm.
Now we have Super Blue and get the same high-quality Blue Cross coverage we've always received.
Super Blue means security for our family.
It's your life. Choose the best. Choose Super Blue.
Well, it didn't take long for us to pick our Ohio Lottery key play replay of the game. Kenny Lofton, what a job he does. Boy, that ball hit off Joe Carter's bat, and when it was hit, thought it was gone, but the wind held it up. And Kenny with a great over-the-shoulder catch, and then made a fine throw, the relay, to Carlos Baerga. And they cut down Tilson Brito going to the bag. Good stretch by Julio Franco. So that is our Ohio Lottery Super Lotto game key play replay. Take a look at the lineup and how often does it happen, right? They make a great play and they lead off. Kenny Lofton will lead off this afternoon. Omar Vizquel batting second. Carlos Baerga third. Albert Bell hitting in the cleanup spot. Eddie Murray the DH. Then Franco, Tomei, Ramirez, and Alomar to face right-hander Paul Quantrill, making his debut for the Blue Jays. Those are his numbers last year with the Phillies, 11 and 12. Quantrill has very good control. Walked only 44 batters in 179 innings pitched, but he will give up base hits. Always seems to be around the plate. He is a Canadian native.
Yes.
Out of London, Ontario.
Just across Lake Erie, he starts Kenny Lofton off with a strike. 1 and 3 against the Tribe, and an earned run average above 5.5 during his time with the Red Sox. He had been a guy the Red Sox kept waiting to finish up, and finally they grew frustrated not only with Quantrill but with some other circumstances, and fastball there, traded him to the Phillies along with Billy Hatcher for Wes Chamberlain, in not one of the better deals that Boston has made.
I look at the Blue Jay defense in the outfield. Carter, Nixon, and Green. Sprague, Gonzalez, Brito, and Olerud on the infield from third to first, and veteran Charlie O'Brien doing the catching this afternoon.
Kenny hard on the ground, but right at Brito, and that's out number 1.
A shortstop, number 13, Omar Vizquel.
You look at the batting averages of people like Lofton and Albert Bell and Jim Thome and Eddie Murray, and that's why the Indians are just hitting a couple of points above 200 as a team right now. Omar showed bunt, pulled the bat back, said Rick Reed for ball one.
Yeah, 206 as a team and only one home run.
We'll make the seats down below us here in the home plate area. Indians hit over 290 as a team in the spring and hit in those lofty numbers last year. 2-1 on Omar. Right now, the Indians coaching staff, while the offense is trying to get cooked up, they've talked about trying to find balance to the attack. Good play by Ed Sprague to take a hit away from Omar, and that's unfortunately the way it always seems to go as well when you're scuffling. But last year the lineup got set early in spring training and didn't change, and you add Julio Franco, and now there's some question as to how it will fit. What a play.
Good reaction by Ed Sprague on that shot hit off the bat of Omar Vizquel. You can see Sprague still playing in on the grass, trying to protect against the bunt. But he made a good reaction play. That's what you got to do at third base, have quick reactions.
Carlos, 3 hits in the series, had a double yesterday, his first extra base hit of the season. 2 outs here in the first, no score. If you are enjoying your holiday weekend and watching some baseball with us, easy bounder to Delgado, no score after 1.
Those folks up the road have a good car insurance agent, and they told their neighbors. These folks told their neighbors that same agent was good for life and health insurance, too. And this family recommended the same agent to insure their neighbor's home. Why do so many people end up buying all their insurance from a State Farm agent? Ask a neighbor.
State Farm is there.
In Cleveland Heights, see Stan Harris. In Parma Heights, see Ken Lear. In Stowe, see Vince Garrington Jr.
How do you like your minivan?
Ford Windstar isn't any minivan. It's the best.
Well, what makes Windstar better?
It's a van that thinks it's a car. It rides and handles like a car, but it holds kids and groceries like a van.
Is it safe?
With over 40 standard safety features, Windstar is the Fort Knox of minivans. I shopped around, and dollar for dollar, nothing else stacks up.
Now get $1,000 back or low financing on Northeast Ohio's best-selling minivan.
Windstar is an all-around great minivan.
Winning Ohio over.
At Revco, we want to be your only pharmacy. Bring us all your family's prescriptions and get true peace of mind. Like knowing that every Revco store has your complete prescription history up to date through our Prescription Access Link system.
Revco, a friend for life.
Revco invites you to capture special moments. Then bring your film to us. You'll get your photos when they're promised, plus all of our work is backed by our quality guarantee. So bring your film in today.
Revco, a friend for life.
At Continental, we've been listening to you. But we haven't stopped there. We've been getting better and better. In fact, in recent months, we've been among the best in the business at handling your baggage and getting you to your destination on time. So fly us again. You'll see there's no stopping us now.
Back here at Jacobs Field as the crowd bundles up for the Blue Jays and the Tribe. And I think all of us who have been around for a while, remarking around the cage this morning that it's still not as cold this weekend as it seemed to be every weekend in early season play at the old ballpark, Exhibition Stadium in Toronto.
Coldest park ever, I think.
Get that breeze coming off of Lake Ontario and wide open. 1-1 pitch coming to John Olerud.
Of course, the old ballpark here was no day at the beach.
That's true.
When it started to swirl around that horseshoe, the wind.
Conversation was also about this guy's home run yesterday. John Olerud putting it into the mezzanine level, turning on a ball probably for the first time in the series, and when he did, it was big time, over 400 feet. The 3-1 pitch to Olerud. Dennis trying to paint that outside corner, gives up a leadoff walk. So for the second straight inning, the leadoff man aboard for the Jays.
Third baseman number 33, Ed Sprague.
Third baseman Ed Sprague, one of 3 Jays with home runs in the first 2 games. Sprague hit his on Friday night. Olerud and Gonzalez yesterday. The drive prevailed 5-3. Right there for strike 1.
You know, I think there are certain guys in every lineup that Dennis Martinez just is not going to give into, and it would appear the way he worked Olerud to start the inning that Olerud is one of those guys.
Although Olerud just 2 for 12 against Dennis coming into this game, 1-1 on Sprague. But he has had a pretty good start to the year, has John, so that probably part of Dennis's thinking. Eddie Sprague low bridges Martinez, and it's 2 on and nobody out. That was a shot.
It may not have been as close as it looked like from our angle, but when he hit that ball looking down, I thought that ball was going to take the cap right off of Dennis Martinez. Here's another look. I mean, Dennis didn't even have time to react. It was not quite at head level as he was bending over, but it was a shot. Dennis just barely having time to get down.
Jays making some solid contact. Lofton robbing Carter up against the wall to turn it into a double play in the first inning, and now the solid shot by Sprague here. 2 on, nobody out. Good pitch to Carlos Delgado. That pitch had so much movement, it even got Sandy Alomar, who was leaning away, and watch where this pitch ends up.
Well, that was the problem. Alomar was set up outside, and Dennis ran it down and in. So it kind of fooled Sandy as well.
Went right there again, upstairs a little more, and Delgado looked like he was looking away that time and was locked out.
Yeah, this time he hits the spot. Nice breaking ball there right at the knees on the inside corner.
To win there a third time off the plate.
All right, here's the question. What do you do now? Do you go back in there upstairs with a fastball, or do you turn a sinker away, see if you can get him to hit into a double play? Turn it down and down, over and away. Got 2 ways to go at him here.
Set up away, and he turned it into a base hit to right field. Ramirez up with the ball, and they'll hold Olerud at third. Bases loaded and nobody out. Not where Dennis wanted to put it, and Delgado put it into the outfield for a single.
Yeah, it was up and out over the plate. I think Sandy wanted to keep that ball down and make Delgado beat it into the ground, try to turn a double play. You can see where his glove was, and look where Sandy had to reach up there. That was a mistake by Dennis Martinez. That ball belt high, and Dennis does not want to work up there too often.
Olerud, who is not overly swift, didn't get a real good jump, and
good throw though by Manny Ramirez.
Here comes Sean Green, and Green last year in his first season had good success in 2 games against Dennis. 6 for 9. Inside corner for strike 1. Green 1 for 8 in the series. O'Brien and Gonzalez 8 and 9 left in the order, as this second-year right fielder has a chance to give the Jays the early edge. Play on at second, and close.
I think the ball, Omar and Sprague all arrived at the same time. Looked like Omar caught him on the hip, but Eddie Sprague had that foot just on the bag in time.
Omar also had the bare hand behind the glove and got whacked on that bare hand. And the ball hits Green. He's down, and a run will score. Took it right on the knee, his right knee. So ahead in the count, 1 strike. Dennis Martinez hits Green and forces a run home. Tough, excuse me, tough way to get an RBI. Mark Wiley's going to come out and talk to Dennis. It has been a tough second inning here for the veteran.
Now that hurts any time, but in weather like this, to catch it right on the side of the knee, right by the kneecap, it looked like a hard breaking ball again. That's the pitch that they had started Green with, was a breaking ball down and in, and it looked like they were trying to go down in there again, and Dennis just got it too far inside. You could see Green was, it almost looked like he was trying to protect away Jack, looking for something away, and that breaking ball didn't really miss by all that much, but his knee was almost on home plate.
Satisfied that Sean Green is all right. Dennis went over, and or you could see Dennis looking that way and kind of nodding. You okay?
Well, Dennis has got to pull out one of his Houdini acts here. He is known for not giving up too many big innings, but he's got his hands full right here. Bases loaded, nobody out, already a run in.
Off the inside corner for ball 1. But in typical Martinez fashion, after hitting a guy, the first pitch following is still inside. 2 singles, a walk, and a hit batsman produce a run for the Jays. Still nobody out. We have seen O'Brien behind the plate for 2 of the 3 games in this series, as opposed to the youngster Sandy Martinez, who had a tough day behind the plate yesterday. With a pass ball and a wild pitch, and that wild pitch might have even been